Your dog has been trying to tell you something, and the moment you understand what it is, you will never look at your dog the same way again. Most owners believe they are doing everything right, don't they? And the gap between what your dog needs and what they are actually getting is silently destroying the bond your dog is desperately trying to build with you. Stay until the end because the last point is the one that changes everything. If you love your dog and want to truly understand them, pay close attention. Let's begin. Waking up and greeting your dog before doing anything else. Here is something that almost no one in the dog world talks about, and it sounds so simple that most people will overlook it without a second thought. But if you implement just one thing from this entire video, let it be this. The first 5 minutes of your morning are shaping your dog's entire emotional reality for the rest of the day. Not their food, not their walk, not their toys, those first 5 minutes. Dogs are pack animals. That is not a metaphor or a cute way to describe them. It is a biological truth that has been hardwired into their DNA over 15,000 years of coevolution with humans. Their brains are programmed to orient around a social anchor. In the wild, that anchor was the pack leader. In your home, that anchor is you. And the moment you wake up and reach for your phone before reaching for your dog, you are sending a signal that lands somewhere deep in their nervous system. The signal says, "You are not my priority." A study published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science found that dogs who receive consistent morning social interaction from their owners show measurably lower baseline cortisol levels throughout the day. Lower stress, calmer behavior, a more settled nervous system, all from something that takes 30 seconds. You don't need to make it elaborate. You don't need to get on the floor and wrestle with them at 7 in the morning. Just wake up, meet their eyes, and say their name with warmth. Let them greet you the way they want to greet you. Let that moment be theirs, because this is what is really happening when you do that. And this is the part most owners never hear. Your dog has been waiting while you slept. Their whole world was on pause. You are the main event of their existence. And when you acknowledge them first, before coffee, before your phone, before anything else, their brain registers something that no treat or toy can replicate. It registers, "I matter here." And a dog who believes they matter is a completely different animal than a dog who is unsure. Keep watching because the difference between those two dogs will become very clear by the time we get to point 6. Letting your dog sniff for as long as they need. How many times have you pulled on the leash during a walk because your dog stopped to smell something for the 10th time in 2 minutes? How many times have you said, "Let's go," and kept moving because you had to be somewhere? Almost every owner has done this, and almost every owner has no idea what they just took away from their dog. To understand why this matters, you need to understand something about how your dog actually experiences the world. Humans are visual creatures. We process our environment primarily through what we see. Dogs are not like that. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have about 6 million. The part of a dog's brain dedicated to analyzing odors is proportionally 40 times larger than the equivalent part in the human brain. What does that mean in practical terms? When your dog stops and smells a fire hydrant or a patch of grass for 60 seconds, they are not wasting time. They are reading. They are getting a whole story. What animals have been here? How long ago? What did they eat? Were they stressed? Were they healthy? Every scent is a paragraph. Every surface is a page. Your neighborhood is a novel that your dog has been trying to finish for years, and every time you pull them away, you are slamming the book shut in the middle of a sentence. A landmark study published in Applied Animal Cognition found that dogs allowed to engage in prolonged sniffing sessions during walks showed significantly higher levels of optimism in subsequent behavioral tests compared to dogs walked the same distance but not allowed to sniff freely. Read that again. Optimism, not just satisfaction, not just lower stress. Optimism, the way your dog is allowed to use their nose, affects how they view the world. This is the walk your dog actually needs, not the fastest route around the block, but a slower walk where they lead with their nose and you follow with patience. 20 minutes of genuine sniffing does more for your dog's mental health than an hour of pure physical exercise. And here's the deeper truth. When you stop pulling and start following, something shifts between you. Your dog begins to trust that being with you means their needs matter. That trust is the currency upon which every other point in this video is built. Keep watching because we are just getting started. Learning the difference between your calm voice and your loud voice. You talk to your dog during the day. Do you narrate what you are doing? Do you greet them when you get home? You say their name just because you feel like it. If you do, you are doing something much more powerful than you realize. If you don't, start today. A 2022 study by researchers in Budapest used brain imaging technology to measure how dogs responded to their owners' voices. What they found is one of the most remarkable discoveries in the entire field of animal cognition. Dogs don't just recognize their owner's voice. They process the emotional tone of that voice in the same hemisphere of the brain that humans use to process emotional communication. Your dog's brain has developed a dedicated system for reading how you speak to them. And this is what the data actually showed. When owners used a warm, slightly higher-pitched tone, the kind of voice most people naturally use with babies or animals, without even thinking about it, dogs showed immediate physiological signs of relaxation. Their heart rate dropped, their muscles released tension, their eyes softened. When the same owner spoke in a flat, distracted tone, the dog's nervous system stayed on alert. Not because the words were different, but because the warmth was gone. Your voice is one of the most powerful regulatory tools your dog will ever have access to. Every time you greet them softly when you walk through the door, every time you say their name with genuine affection, every time you whisper something to them while they are lying next to you are reaching directly into their nervous system and telling them, everything is safe. You can relax. I am here. No supplement, no calming spray, no anxiety wrap can do what your voice does when it conveys real warmth. And the beautiful thing is that your dog already knows the difference. They always have. The question is whether you will be consistent enough for them to count on it. Stay with me, because point 4 is where most dog owners make the biggest mistake they don't know they are making. Playing with your dog as if the game actually has stakes. When was the last time you genuinely played with your dog? Not throwing a ball while standing still and checking your messages? Not tossing a rope toy in their general direction? But truly playing, fully present, fully engaged, making the game feel real? Because there is a difference between keeping your dog entertained and truly fulfilling them. And that difference is the reason why so many indoor dogs develop anxiety, destructive behavior, and what veterinary behaviorists increasingly recognize as canine depression. Dogs are not domesticated wolves in the sense that their instincts have been replaced. Their instincts have been redirected. Every breed, from the smallest Chihuahua to the largest Great Dane, carries a prey drive, a chase drive, a retrieval drive, a herding drive. These are not behavioral quirks, they are biological imperatives. And when those instincts never get to be expressed in a meaningful way, the energy doesn't just disappear, it finds another outlet: your furniture, your shoes, your sanity. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs with insufficient interactive play stimulation showed significantly elevated rates of separation, anxiety, aggression, and compulsive behavior. These are not bad dogs. They are unfulfilled dogs. So what does real play look like? It means you move, you make the toy unpredictable, you let the game build up. A slow movement, a pause, a sudden burst of energy. You let your dog win. Sometimes you let them grab the toy and shake it and feel the satisfaction of the catch. You incorporate a cool down at the end, a few moments of calm that allow their nervous system to come down from the arousal of play. That sequence, the anticipation, the chase, the catch, the release, is not recreation for your dog. It is the ritual that confirms their identity. It is the experience that tells their brain, I am capable, I am alive, I am seen. And here is the part that will change how you approach every play session from now on. When you are the one on the other side of that fully present game, making it real, your dog doesn't just see playtime. They see you as someone who understands what they are made of. That is a different level of bonding than any amount of passive affection can create. Keep watching. Point 5 is about something your dog does every day that you have probably been completely misunderstanding: giving your dog a space that is completely theirs. Does your dog have a place they go to when the world is too overwhelming? Not a crate you locked them in when they were a puppy. A place they chose, a corner they return to, a place where no one bothers them, no one calls them, no one expects anything from them. If your answer is no, your dog has been living without something essential, and the effects of that absence are almost certainly manifesting somewhere in their behavior. Here is the science. Dogs are not pack animals in the sense that they require constant social stimulation. They are social animals that also require withdrawal, the ability to step away from stimulation, noise, activity, and interaction, and enter a state of genuine rest is a neurological need, not a preference. A study published in the journal Animals found that dogs provided with a dedicated retreat space, respected by the owner, showed significantly lower indicators of chronic stress compared to dogs in homes where no such space existed. And the key phrase in that finding is respected by the owner. The space only works if the humans in the house understand that when the dog goes there, they must not be bothered, called, followed, or brought back into the social world until they choose to return. This is where most owners unintentionally go wrong. They give the dog a bed in the corner and then call them 30 seconds later. They set up a crate and then open it mid-rest to say hello. They bend down to pet the dog the moment they lie down, and every single one of those interruptions teaches the dog the same thing. There is no place in this home where I am truly safe to rest. The impact of that lesson compounds over time. A dog that cannot genuinely rest cannot genuinely recover. A dog that cannot recover accumulates stress, and accumulated stress expresses itself in ways that look like behavioral problems from the outside, but are actually cries for a need that has never been met. Give your dog a place, a specific place. Put something there that smells like comfort. Let them find it on their own terms, and when they go there, treat that space like sacred ground, because to your dog, it is. And when you understand what happens in point 6, you will see exactly why all of this matters more than you ever imagined. Staying completely still when your dog chooses to rest on you. You know the moment. You sit on the couch and your dog walks over slowly and deliberately. They turn around and press their body against yours, or they climb up and lie down on your legs. Your arm goes numb. Your show is impossible to watch. You can't reach anything useful, and you don't move. Most people treat this as a funny inconvenience, a cute story to tell. But what is actually happening in that moment is one of the most profound acts of communication an animal is capable of. Sleep is the most vulnerable state any living creature can enter. When an animal sleeps, their defenses are down, their awareness turns off. Their ability to detect and respond to threats disappears. In the wild, a dog would not sleep pressed against another creature unless something deep in their biology had decided, without a doubt, that this creature would not harm them while they were defenseless. When your dog chooses to fall asleep touching you, they are not just getting comfortable, they are making a statement. They are saying, out of all the places in the world, out of all the surfaces and corners and safe spots available to me, I have chosen you. You are the safest place I know. And the way you respond in that moment either honors that statement or erodes it. Every time you stay still, every time you sacrifice comfort and convenience, and simply let them sleep, you are answering their statement with one of your own. I see what you gave me, and I will not take it for granted. Remember every point we covered in this video. The constant morning greeting that told them they matter. The unhurried walks where their nose led the way. The warmth in your voice that reached directly into their nervous system. The play sessions that honored their instincts. The retreat space that gave them permission to truly rest. Every single one of those things was a deposit into an account your dog keeps, in a way that no spreadsheet could ever capture. And when they press their body against yours and close their eyes, that is the moment the account comes full circle. That is your dog showing you the total. That is trust made physical. You will never be able to look at that moment the same way again. And you shouldn't, because it was never just a nap. It was everything you built together arriving all at once. If this video changed the way you see your dog, share it with someone who loves their companion and deserves to know this. If this story has transformed your perspective on the bond you share with your pet, subscribe and like the channel. We are here to decipher the silent language of the animals who have decided to spend their one life by our side. They deserve to be understood, and you deserve to be their best refuge. The next treasure of canine wisdom will be unlocked very soon.